Hello and welcome to the stock market analysis. Let's take a look at Nvidia and what it's doing. We had a week where last week we traded sideways a bit, and that's very normal because there is a lot of supply here. Very rarely will the stock move up unless there is no resistance overhead, there's no supply, and there is supply over here, and that is why it's taking it a bit more time to move up. Now let's start with looking at the weekly charts. Alright, we have this weekly chart here, and if you have took a look here, there was a very nice breakout here, and there is a consolidation here, and then there is a bigger consolidation here. So we have actually quite a long consolidation here, and whenever there is a big consolidation, long consolidation from July last year to January this year, it's quite a lot of months, and when it breaks out, there is a huge rise. The longer the consolidation, the bigger the rise it will be. So this is a breakout as it reaches the rising 20 MA, and then it broke out here. You can actually buy the stock here, put a stop loss here, or if you work out from the weekly chart, you can actually buy the breakout, put the stop loss here, and ride it higher. And as it goes higher, it forms a topping tail in the weekly chart that warns us of a decline. So you can see that the stock, although it tried to move up, was not able to go above the highs of this topping tail. And then we have some correction, a nasty red bar here, and then followed by a green bar. This is a bullish hermite that signals that the stock wants to go back up. Okay, and then the next week we have a bottoming tail that tells us that the stock actually sold off throughout the week but end up higher. So this is another bullish sign. And last week was a bit of an indecision in the stock because it tried to rise and then closed with a small body. And in candlesticks term, it means a bit of an indecision in the market in this stock. So the reason why is because we have some supply here, and the supply needs to be overcome. But overall, if you see the trajectory of the moving average, especially this weekly 20 MA, it tells us that this stock is bullish. And the rising 50 MA in the weekly chart tells us it is bullish. And the rising 200 MA tells us that it's bullish. Weekly chart, all 3 MA are rising, and it's bullish, and therefore we should look for long-term strength, short-term weaknesses. The moment it turns from short-term weaknesses to short-term strength, we should be buying stock. Dips are buyable, continuations are buyable. Now, if we go to the daily chart here, I have highlighted it in a video about chart pattern mastery. Those who work out of a daily chart and actually buy the stock when it broke out. Now this was a very bullish ascending triangle pattern. I'll put a link to that chart pattern mastery video for you. Now the reason why it worked out so well is because this is a ascending triangle pattern. The breakout is here. You can buy the breakout, put the stop loss here, and ride it all the way higher, right, until it breaks below the 20 MA decisively. So this was a very good risk reward for those who took it. About risking 1 to make 11 if you've sold it. Okay, and of course, when the stock goes up, make a double top, right, and drop below the 20 MA, these signal weaknesses. It is very normal. It's all right for it to trade sideways and correct a bit, and because nothing goes up in a straight line, and dips make it quite viable. So at this moment, this stock has broken above a downtrend line. This is very good because it signals a change of trend from bearish to bullish. So now we are in bullish territory because stock has made a higher low here, right? Higher high here. This is a definition of a short-term uptrend. Now, let me just go to the 2-hour chart so that you can see the construction of it. This was downtrend bearish, and it made a low here, but notice how it made a higher low here, and perhaps a higher low here. Here it made a higher high here and a higher high here. So at this moment, the stock is sitting at the 20 MA. It is also at a very short-term support. You can actually draw a support area here because this previous high now acts as a support area, and if the stock does not drop below the support area, it will eventually move higher. All right, and you can see some supply area here. It's important for you to take a look at the supply area because this is where it might make the stock halt, right? So these are supply areas, which is why the stock went up here in anticipation of the supply coming in, then it corrects. But we are still in a short-term uptrend, and the rising 200 MA still tells us to be bullish in the stock. You see, the stock corrected, but it did not drop below the it did not close below the 200 MA for long, eventually moving up. So this gives us hope as a trend trader that in the short term is moving up. And here we have a bullish cross where the 20 MA crossed above the 50 MA, and that's why it's we should have a bullish bias in the stock. So if you take a look at the week 60 minute as well, the stock has actually gone back above the 200 MA, which is something good. Usually we do not want to trade a stock if it's below the 60 minute 200 MA. This is for swing trades or longer holds like 1 or 2 weeks. You see, when it's above the 200 MA, you can buy the breakouts and hold for a week or two, or maybe 2-3 weeks. But when it went below the 200 MA, things were not so good. So now it's above the 200 MA again, and it's gonna be good as a filter that you can long it for swing trades and longer trades. So hopefully this 200 MA is gonna curve up again, just like when it's here. So when you have the 60 minute curving up, the 60 minute 200 MA curving up, these are the best moments to buy the stock for short-term long trades. All right. So if you go back to the daily chart, this is just a sideways, and the longer it trades sideways and eventually breaks out, it will be really very good for Nvidia. Perhaps it can even go above 1,000 and even more. So I do hope that this analysis is helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.